Earlier today, Jim Schwartz was talking about the Packers' run game. He said they run the ball sneakingly well. Obviously, Aaron, how challenging is this run game to deal with in Aaron Jones?
It is challenging, especially when you have a receiver core like theirs and a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers, and you have a balanced attacking offense. That's when you're a huge threat, to the defense. And they have, good runners like Williams and a couple other guys. So we're going to have our hands full. Our mission is always the same: is stop the run and make them one-dimensional. I think we'll have to do that to put ourselves in good position to win this game. But another high-profile offense, man, that we're going up against. We feel like we're one of the top-tier defenses, and so we embrace this challenge. It will be a battle, and we understand that it's going to come down to our performance and how we play.
Mike and then Martin.
Hey, Rod. With the way the season's gone, how much do you kind of reflect on last year and the year before in order to kind of have perspective on how this thing could turn around?
I think it is brought up, the fact that we have faced these moments in the past. But honestly, it's a different team. You have different players involved now. And, it's kind of on us, the guys who have experienced it, who's been around since 2016 or the Super Bowl or even the last two seasons when our backs were against the wall and things weren't looking too great, man. But we found a way to come together and rally towards it down the end of the stretch. And that's what we're looking for, from this team. Leaders like myself stepping up to the plate and bringing guys along. We feel like we have the team to do it, but it's about just going out and executing and getting the job done at this point.
Martin and then Kristen.
Hey, Rodney. So you guys obviously have another top quarterback this weekend to prepare for. What are the differences in preparing for Aaron Rodgers as opposed to what you just had to do with Russell Wilson?
Well, I mean, they're similar in the way that they can extend plays. They're similar in far as accuracy. I think, Aaron Rodgers has the experience over Russell Wilson, which is a good thing. He's very aware of blitzes. He'll look at our safeties based on, our alignments to really try to get a upper hand on what type of coverage he is going to expect. So we have to create different looks for him as much as we can without putting ourselves at risk. And then just compete, man. He's a guy, he's going to make some plays, but you have to limit him as much as possible. It's going to be a collective effort. D-line's going to have to rattle him. We're going to have to hold up in the back end to get the D-line some time. And I think, if we do that, we put ourselves in good position to win this game. But Aaron Rodgers, man, is probably one of the best. I enjoy going against him, and I'm looking forward to it Sunday.
Kristen and then Ed.
Hey, Rodney, as much as we talk about the want to play complementary football, I know it can be difficult when, again, going back to the Seattle game, the offense was going 3 and out for a majority of their drives to start that game. Can you talk about the challenges when the defense is going back on the field, short rest, and how you guys make sure that you can stay locked into those moments?
Yeah, I mean, we look at it as an opportunity for us to go out and make plays. Like I said, we consider ourselves the tone setters of this team. We embrace that in those moments, right? We had a few of those on Monday night, getting some huge fourth down stops. We putting it on tape, and we're hoping that those plays, create that momentum, create that energy for our team as we go down this stretch. And, more importantly, create turnovers. I think that's something that is lacking from us as a defense. And at the end of the day, all three phases help and contribute to win the game. We put ourselves behind a little bit early on. So, if I'm being critical of ourselves, as I always am on defense, because that's all we can control is, we have to limit those, some of those explosive plays, some of the red zone touchdowns, and then find ways to get the ball. That is a point of emphasis, and it will be needed on Sunday versus Green Bay.
Ed and then Zach.
Hey, Rodney. I know Will Parks' role, really never developed fully here, but not being with the team now, Kayvon Wallace and Marcus Epps could have more of a role. What have you seen in the development of their game, especially Wallace, the rookie? Neither one of them have played many snaps recently.
Yeah, I think when you look at a guy like Marcus Epps, he came in midway through our season last year and quickly was inserted into the lineup and playing valuable minutes for us on third downs. That's a very important down. And I think we quickly gained a lot of confidence in him. At times I forgot he was a rookie. And then just him having this, off season, I guess you would say, even though it was a lot different, for him to get the scheme down. He's progressed very well. He's a guy that just works hard, comes to work every day. He's in the right spots. Somebody you could depend on. Kayvon, another guy who, is very physical player. You see him out on special teams displaying that. He's another hard worker. He's a winner, obviously coming from Clemson. And, when he has had his moments out there on defense, he's shown up. And, he's learning. And that's part of being a rookie. Being out there in San Fran and that win and going against a guy like Kittle, he learned a lot from that. And I've seen progression. So I'm excited for the opportunity that both of them will be able to get defensively and as they continue to build their roles on special teams as well.
You have time for one more, and then we'll get TJ in here. So go ahead, Zach.
Hey, Rodney, Schwartz said that a big part of the plan the other night was Slay accepting the fact that he wasn't going to get help. When you go up against these top receivers, you're seeing another one this week, obviously, in Davante Adams. As a secondary, as a defense, how do you judge success against that type of player? Because I imagine he's still going to get his at some point. Is it how the other guys do? Is it limiting them overall? What's success in that situation?
I think you look at success as, one is a win, right?
Sure. Yeah.
At the end of the day, that's the only thing that matters. But outside of that, you start to just look and see how impactful was that player. Were we able to limit them in some degree, or did we do enough that didn't allow the other guys to play a factor? And I think Slay is a hell of a corner in this league. We bet on him every single week. It's a tough matchup, and it takes a different guy to line up every single snap with the best. And going into the week, they know that. And so I know he's up for the challenge again, man. Last week, DK Metcalf's a good receiver, a lot of 50-50 balls, but I felt like, we did enough to put ourselves in good position to win that game.
We talked to Jim Schwartz earlier today, and he mentioned, obviously, Aaron Rodgers, Green Bay. Everybody talks about Aaron, but their running game has been so effective, and that has made them even more efficient on the offensive side of the ball. What have you seen from those guys, particularly in the running game?
Yeah, obviously a really good offense, and kind of what you were saying, I think the running game is underrated. All three backs can do all different types of things, and they do them very well. So I think they complement each other very well. So it's a team that you have to be gap sound against because they're all one-cut backs, and they can all make a big play at any time. So with this offense, you have to be on your technique and everything in the run game and in the pass. So it's a great challenge.
Stacy and then Dave.
Hey, TJ, I'm curious. The first question I have is just, could you describe the state of your locker room right now? And then obviously you're very familiar with Wisconsin. It's going to be pretty cold there at Lambeau, facing Davante Adams at Lambeau.
Yeah, I think our locker room right now is just, we're at a point where we all want to come together and we all want to figure this thing out. No one's hanging their head and no one's, looking past anything, and no one's getting down. So I think at this point we're trying to bond as much as we can. Obviously social distancing and doing all that makes it a little more difficult, but we're all just trying to make sure that we're all bringing each other with us and where we want to go, and that's to get wins. So at this point we're all just trying to build confidence and all trying to work this thing through together to make sure that we can make this team better. And then obviously, going back to Lambeau, a great environment, and then facing a great group of wide receivers, and then Davante Adams and Aaron Rodgers, who everyone knows how good Aaron Rodgers and that combo has been. So gonna take our best game defensively to stop those two and try to contain them as best as we can.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Dave.
Hey, TJ, you guys have kind of struggled to get takeaways pretty much all year. Why do you think that is, and how much does that come up in conversations between you and the rest of the defense?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things to where, as all really good defenses do a good job of creating takeaways, and I think we feel we've done a good job of stopping teams or holding them to 3 at times, and in the red zone. But I think we all want to create turnovers, and we all know those things are going to happen. I think the biggest thing is not trying to do anything outside of ourselves to try to make those plays and just letting those plays come within the defense. So I think there's definitely been a heavy emphasis on it for a while now, and we just have to figure out a way to get our hands on the ball. And I'm definitely confident that we will.
Without doing something different, how do you kind of make it happen? It's week 13 at this point.
Yeah, I think all year there's been times where we've had chances to make plays and we just didn't make them. So I think it comes down to the point of executing and not being in the wrong spot, so that when you're in your right spot, that ball is going to come to you, and making those plays when they come.
Do we have any other questions for TJ? No?
Hey, TJ. Oh, I had one.
Go ahead.
Hey, TJ. So there's a game going on right now at 3:30 on a Wednesday. How weird do you think that would be from a scale? There's already 4 turnovers in the first quarter. So, could you imagine playing in that sort of situation? And how difficult is it to kind of train for that's, different of a day?
Yeah, it definitely would be, I think, just kind of body clock wise and everything going on. It's something that, you definitely have to adjust to. And, I know they're waiting for a while to play that game. So just kind of going with that and dealing with that too. But at the end of the day, you got to play when they want you to play. So you got to be ready. But I definitely think that'd be different. You have to kind of probably train your body a little bit to get woken up and getting ready at a certain time. So, but you got to do what you got to do.
With the line the way it is right now, was it odd Sunday being out there at left tackle with Jason Peters in the huddle with you?
I guess you could say it was weird, but not really. It wasn't weird. It was weird, but it wasn't weird enough for me to feel uncomfortable. That make any sense? Sure. It felt right at home just to be out there on the line with the guys, and even seeing JP at right guard just felt awesome being out there with the more veterans with the experience that they had. So it was awesome.
If I could squeeze it in real quickly, if Jack Driscoll ends up at right tackle this week, what will he bring the line? What is he good at?
We don't know yet. I don't know anything about who's playing at right tackle. So whoever steps up, I'm sure they're going to bring their A game.
Okay.
So John McMullen and then John Clark.
Hey, Jordan. Some independent analysts, I guess you would call it, said you played very, very well against the Seahawks. Did you regard that as your best game to date?
No, I wouldn't call that my best game to date. Watching the film back, I know there's still a lot of things that I could have done better to help out the rest of my line, especially Isaac. So, I know there was a lot more that I could have done, but I was happy with the way I played. But when it comes to individuals, it's not an individual sport; it's a team sport. So I know that I could have done more to help out my left guard and my QB.
Thanks.
John Clark and then Chris Franklin.
Hey, Jordan, this year especially, with all of the different combinations you've had with the offensive line and the injuries, Jeff Stoutland, your coach, what kind of job has he done and keeping all of you together and coaching you up?
Stout has, I think, when I compare it to the last 2 years, Stout has remained the same. It's one thing that he strives for is consistency, and that's what he tries to instill in us, is to try and be more consistent. So his coaching style has not changed. Everything he does to make everyone right and be on the same page has still been the same. There's nothing else I could say about Stout, man. He's the best coach I've ever had. I have so much respect for him. And, I don't know what position we'd be in if we didn't have Stout.
Chris
Thank you.
Jeff Skaversky.
Hey, Jordan, we saw Connor Barwin out there working with you guys today. What was he doing to help you guys out, and what type of impact does he have when it comes to helping you guys?
Connor's experience, him being a defensive player and obviously playing in the league for a number of years, his experience is very I guess important for us, especially us young guys, just to know how the defensive end is going to play. I think Connor does a fabulous job of doing a report and telling us how the D ends are going to play, and then he obviously goes out there and replicates what he sees on film and tries to give us a decent look and what kind of moves to expect.
Jeff and then Martin.
Hey, Jordan, hope all is well. Wanted to ask you, Carson's been hit, he's been sacked, he's been pressured more than any other quarterback. How much do you guys put that on you as an offensive line and kind of say to yourself, we need to be better to give that guy a chance?
Yeah, listen, nobody wants to give up a sack. It's the worst feeling in the world, and then seeing your QB get hit, it's the worst feeling in the world. We get paid to do our job, and when we don't do our job, it hurts us the most. And we take a lot of credit for that, and a lot of ownership, and try and be more accountable every week. So we try and correct it on the film, and we do everything we can to solidify a good protection plan and make sure that our QB isn't getting hits and sacks. So every week is a new week, and we're just looking forward to this week and trying to get better where we need to.
Thank you.
Martin and then Zach.
Hey, Jordan. I'm pretty sure this was the first time you and Jason Peters were on the field at the same time. And I was wondering, if he still was able to kind of give you pointers here and there during the game, and how you think he did at right guard.
Yeah, he was actually still giving me pointers during the game. I think he played a fabulous, did a great job at right guard for his first game. I'm not going to be one to tell him how he played, but I thought he did awesome.
We have time for a few more, so let's go Zach, Dave, and Ed.
Hey, Jordan, you told us during the summer you want to be viewed as a football player, not as a rugby player who started playing football. But you just started playing meaningful games 2 months ago. Do you still grade yourself on a curve, or do you grade yourself the same way it would be if Jason Peters was out there, Andre Dillard was out there, so on and so forth?
Yeah, I still grade myself. I guess how I understand the question is I grade myself as a footballer. Anything I do, I don't blame it on anything. I don't blame it on being deficient at not playing the sport. Since I was young, I never liked to do that. If I mess up a play, it's because I messed it up. It's because I didn't do the correct techniques, not because of the lack of experience. I think I've had enough experience under my belt now to, I guess, know what to do in the situation, and when I don't do it, that's how I grade myself.
Thank you.
Dave and then Ed.
Hey, Jordan, Monday was the first time you got to play next to Isaac. What was that like? What do you like about playing next to him, and where are you guys in terms of building that relationship, learning how to play next to one another?
I mean, playing next to Isaac, I guess off the field as well, Isaac and I have a great relationship off the field. So on the field, the communication is awesome. Having someone next to you that knows the game plan inside and out and just echoes the call, relentlessly. It doesn't matter if I'm not involved, he's always echoing the call to me, so I understand where the point is, what to do in that play. So his help is so incredibly appreciated, and it doesn't go unnoticed for me, especially.
Last question here with Ed.
Hey, hi, Jordan. Hey, so what's the lowdown on this Packers defensive line? What do you know about them? What do you know about the guy you're lining up across from? What are the challenges?
Well, we won't know, will we? We don't know who we're going to line up against. Both guys, number 55 plays both left and right, so it's going to be interesting. We're going to keep looking at the film and build our protection plan, and maybe later in the week I'll give you a tip or two.